What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe, aka JM Jigs. You see it. Tonight we're gonna have a little late night paint session. We're gonna do a pretty simple, I want to say beginner, kind of basic paint pattern colorway. We're kind of gonna go for basically like a golden shiner with a little scaling across the top. You're not going to need too many different colors. I would say maybe 4 colors just to start with. That's including your base coat. Again, like I said, I like to put a white pearl always down. I think that brings out a lot of the colors. So we're going to do the white pearl. We're going to do some Createx paint. Today we're going to be painting the Sinking 110 Jerkbait. This is the Mega Bass KO. You can get this guy over at Pretty Lures. And again, guys, I am Pretty Lures Pro Staff. You can go over to their page, find a bunch of blanks you like if you're a painter, put them in your cart at checkout, type in my code JMJigs10. That'll get you 10% off at checkout. Plus, if you spend $100 or more, you're going to get free shipping. So that's a plus there, guys. But let's get into this paint job. All right, guys, so let's start this paint job. So like I said, I already didn't want to bore you guys. I already coated the complete lure in Createx white, just an opaque white, taped off the bill. And again, my prepping situation, I like to take the lure, sand it down with a scuff pad. Not sand it, gently scuff it, make sure you're getting everything off. And again, as soon as you're done with that, remember to wipe with alcohol. Get all that grease, get all those contaminants, get the mold release off the lure that sometimes, you know, the factories and the manufacturers don't get all of it off. So, like I said, we already got white on here, so I'm going to lay down a nice pearl, white pearl, all the way down. We're going to go to the belly, we're going to do the sides, we're going to do across the back. So, let's do the pearl. All right, guys, pearl's loaded up. I always like to, once you put your paint into your airbrush, especially if you just got done cleaning your airbrush, give a couple little sprays. Make sure you don't have any more of that cleaner, the water, whatever you guys use. I use a mixture of different things. We'll get into that into maybe a different video one day. If you guys want to see that, comment down below. I make my own airbrush cleaner that another maker actually gave me a formula little recipe for. I also use water. Let's turn the booth on. Let's get this pearl on there. And I'm sorry, guys, with the booth being a little bit loud. I'm gonna work on getting a microphone set up so you guys can hear me a little bit better. But we're just putting a nice layer of white pearl right on top of that white base coat. Again, not spraying too heavy. Actually, you know what? I am doing a little bit heavier of a spray with the pearl today. I'm spraying with my compressor at just around 18 pounds. I know that's a question some people may have. Also, with my setup here, I can regulate my air here as well. And then I also have a water separator down here. All right. Let's clean the gun out. We'll move on to the next color. All right, guys, before we move on to the next color, let's heat set this. And for heat setting my lures, I just use a little mini hair dryer. I think I found this at like, I want to say TJ Maxx was on sale for like 10 bucks. But I just run it on low, keep it moving, don't sit in one spot. Obviously, you guys can see my JM Jigs logo back there. Well, my Dark Side Custom Lures is flopping around too. We're gonna have to fix that. Well, that's on our mind. Yeah, we gotta fix that. Yeah. All right. Let's get the next color. All right, guys, for the next color, we've got Createx Pearl Copper. To me, this is an amazing looking gold. So that's what we're going to use. Airbrush is loaded. Give her a couple little test sprays. We're gonna turn the booth on. Let's put a little more in here real quick. Again, guys, we're just spraying this at a nice low pressure. Light coats back and forth. No need to go super crazy. So make sure you guys can see this in camera. I'm going to fade into the white on the bottom because I think I'm going to do something down the belly. Maybe a different color on it just to change it up so it's not solid gold. Should we get up inside the eye? Up the side where your line tie is. Always remember, guys, to get that little tail section. That's one of the little spots I forget all the time. Gonna rotate the helping hands a little bit. Get up inside that eye socket. Make sure you get, it's another always kind of like not missed spot but overlooked spot right behind that gill plate right there. Numerous times I get the same thing. I'll get my color down, look right behind that gill plate, and it'll still be white or whatever color you choose to be your base coat. See, look, I didn't even listen to my own rules. Right behind this one, still a little bit of white back there. I don't know if you guys can see that. See it right there? Yep. Make sure we got decent saturation on it. This side looks a little bit darker, so we're going to coat this side up a little bit more. Now, see, by me spraying with the helping hands at an angle and facing towards the back of the booth, look at the belly. Untouched. Now, if I wanted to, I could fade into that a little bit, but we're going to leave that open just for that bottom of that bait. You can see that pearl reflected in there. But there's our, I want to say, I guess we could say third color, because we did our white base coat, we did our white pearl, then we got the pearl copper on top of it. We're going to heat set this and come back with our next color. All right, well, now the bait is heat set, our lure is heat set, let's put it that way. We're not going to go into the next color because I forgot the next step. We're going to lay down a stencil on top. And I'm going to keep this very beginner friendly, guys. This is actually one side of this sponge here. I kind of just took my knife, unwrapped it. You can use the sponge to lay down. You can put your baits on top when you're doing other patterns, any other type of stencils you're doing. You can put it right on top. So this is actually an awesome little scale pattern. So like I said, guys, we're going to try to keep this beginner friendly. You can go right to the dollar store and buy this. It's nothing crazy. What I usually like to do is I run my hook point in the back, come down. So that's where it's going to be. And you guys need to have some binder clips. So we're going to take it out of the helping hands for right now. You guys don't want to be too rough doing this because it will scratch the bait sometimes, and I try to get mine down along the center as much as I can. So what you want to do, start wrapping that bad boy tight right around your lure. Put your binder clip on there. Keep on moving down. You want to make sure it's tight across the back. You don't want it humping up, because what's going to happen when you spray your paint, it's going to go underneath and you're not going to get that scale pattern. Let's keep walking it down. Another binder clip here. Don't jam the binder clip right up against the bait and let it go, because sometimes, again, you can scratch the color underneath. Once you get down to here, just start manipulating that scale. These little points where it's starting to like bind up, just get in there, get your finger, hold it, and get your clip on there. Now we're going to come down into the head area, pull that down, keep it tight with this hand, get your binder clips in there. Again, I think I may have got these binder clips. I don't know if I got these from the dollar store, if I got these from Dollar General maybe. See right here, I don't like how that is, so we're going to pull that one off. We're going to come back in and make sure we pull it tight. Maybe we'll run this clip that way. Yeah, that's better. All right, we'll put her back into the helping hands here. And we're gonna load up. We're gonna load up some black. Move this out of the way. The airbrush is good to go. Let's get some black loaded up. All right, and for this, when we're gonna paint, we're gonna focus on the back of the bait here. If we want, we can let a little blow down the sides. We'll see how after we get the top of the bait done, if we want to blow and just fade a little bit coming down into the sides of the bait. All right. Airbrush is good. Booth is going on. And then again, guys, light passes. Don't go hammer it down, because what's going to happen when you hammer it on there, your stencil is going to stick to it. You can see the coat I'm putting on there. It ain't heavy at all. Let me try to keep this from moving. Trigger control is everything with this, guys. Don't just wham, 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 wham. I mean, you can if that's what you like to do. All right. You can see we didn't get it down the sides at all. I think I'm going to blend it down the sides just a little bit. And I'm not going to spray into the booth. I'm kind of going to come at it on an angle this way and just allow it to come right down just a hair. But I'm only going to do it from the gill plate backwards. I don't know if you guys can even see that difference there. It's just a nice light coat right into here. Right back there a little bit. Yeah, we'll do a little bit on the top of this gill plate here. Just want that little bit shown. Remember, guys, don't forget that little tail area right there. All right, let's let it sit for a minute, and we can unwrap this baby like a Christmas present. Just gonna, if I'm gonna leave my color in my airbrush to keep on spraying, and I know I'm gonna take a couple minutes before I start spraying, I have a little tray here. Get these from the dollar store. I cut up a little sponge. I put a little alcohol and water inside here. Just kind of dip the tip in a little bit. That way you don't get a dry tip. And let that sit there. You guys excited for this part? I know I get excited when I wrap these things. You guys ready for the grand reveal? Hook it from that back little hook tie. Check that out, guys. Perfect little fade. I'm not gonna say perfect little fade, but awesome little fade down to the sides there. Same thing here, if you can catch it with a light. Awesome right across the top there. All right, like I said, we're gonna keep this pattern simple, guys. We're gonna use, this is my little kill dot stencil. This is off a big sheet of stencils from Whitmore Farms. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna do a little kill dot right in that area. Make sure the tip of the brush is dry. See, again, this is why you always do a little spray check. I don't know if you guys can see that water that came out. So, and the kill dot size, shad dot, whatever everyone wants to call it, really don't matter. It's your preference. Do what you feel. We're gonna go right into here. We're gonna repeat the same thing on this side. And look where we're at. That's what I like about these helping hands, guys. You can maneuver this lure wherever you need to, wherever's comfortable for you to paint at. I know my hand's in the way for that, guys, but there's that. Now we're gonna bring a little of the black down into the face here. Light pressure. I'm just literally just pulling back on that trigger just a little bit. Let me try to get this so you guys can see here. Gonna come through, darken the eye sockets. Repeat your process on the next side. Get into that eye socket there. All right. Now I think we need a little texture right in here. So let's keep it simple. And we're just going to use a little bit of crackle mesh. Again, guys, this crackle mesh is from Pretty Lures. You can get stuff like this at your local hobby stores or anywhere that sells fabric as well. I just like the one from Pretty Lures. It's stretchable. You can maneuver it when you want to wrap around a bait. It's not as tough, and I kind of like to double mine up. And so we're going to come into here. And we can see where the gill plate ends is right in here. Light pressure, watch that paint get started. And look at that little texture it does. A little bit of definition can change a whole bait. We get into this side, same thing. I'm trying to get this so you guys can see this a little bit better. We know where our gill plate ends over here. There we go. I'm gonna come up right into here. I don't like how I'm seeing a little more gold right in that little jawline area. So I'm gonna darken right in there. Make sure we get up underneath there too. And I'm just gonna kind of take the black, and I'm basically spraying, I don't know if you guys can tell from this angle, but literally straight at the nose of the bait, just to kind of get a fade right up that nose right there. All right, guys. Bam. All right, guys, so that's your finished, not your finished paint job, but your paint job after painting it. Obviously, we're gonna unwrap the bill. We're gonna put some eyes in it, and then we're gonna clear coat it. We're gonna epoxy it. But you guys can see, very simple, easy beginner setup. We didn't do nothing on the belly. I kind of just left it the white pearl to leave it those 4 colors, guys. We did white, white pearl, we did pearl copper, and then went over it with black. 4 colors, and that's your outcome. That's a very fishable, and I bet you can catch some giants on this guy. Maybe that's one of the videos we'll do. Maybe one of the videos we'll do a paint and fish. I'll come out early, we'll paint a lure, we'll let it sit for a couple hours after clear coat, then we'll go hit the water. We'll see. I'll sacrifice the lure to see if it'll work. All right, so we're gonna unwrap the bill. We're gonna set this guy down. We're gonna put some eyes in her. We're gonna epoxy it. We're also gonna epoxy another bait I did before I filmed this video. I'll show you guys that. But let me set everything up. Let me get some eyes out, and we'll do that next process. All right, everyone. I got my bait towel laid out. Again, guys, these are from over on TikTok. You can search her up, Sage's Creations. She makes these awesome little bait towels. You can put them on your boat, clean your hands with. I like to put my lures down on right while I'm doing their eyes, so they're not going on to the bottom of my spray booth. They're not getting scratched up. They're not getting dirt all over them. I like to leave that right there. So we're gonna untape the bill here. I got a nice eye picked out, so we're gonna put that eye on, and then I will show you the other bait I painted earlier as well. Then we're gonna mix up some BSI, put a layer of epoxy on these bad boys, and put them on a turner. Again, I love unwrapping these. Sometimes pulling the bills is a little pain, but it's like opening up a Christmas present. Almost seeing the finished product and imagining what it's gonna look like after that clear coat. Let's get that down. Again, to apply our eyes, little super glue. Got my X-Acto knife right here. Got my whole little bundle of eyes. I picked out a nice little gold natural eye. We're gonna put a nice little dab of super glue right there in the center. We're gonna get our eyeball onto our knife here. Situate this guy. Of course, it wants to move around on me. Get her pressed right on in there. There you go. You can see that a little bit better right there. And my apologies, guys. I'm going to get used to doing a decent setup for everybody. Right now, I got my camera on like a little gooseneck mount sitting off of a shelf right into here. Would you guys be interested to do like I do have like a POV camera holder. Do like a POV painting tutorial or something like that. You guys be interested in that? Drop down in the comments below. Grab our eyeball here. Get her pressed into that eye socket. Make sure she's in there nice. And again, guys, don't put a ton of super glue on there. A little dot of super glue is what happens if it runs out from behind the eye. Once you put your epoxy on there, it pulls and does weird things. You'll get like little chunks that come out if the epoxy hits it sometimes. I don't know if that's with just the glue I'm using and maybe a reaction to the BSI to the epoxy. I don't know if it happens with all glues. I don't know if maybe I use a BSI brand crazy glue, if that won't happen. If someone knows, drop down in the comments below and tell me if the BSI crazy glue or the BSI super glue works with the BSI if you run into that problem. But, all right. Next thing to do now, we're going to grab our little Sharpie. And again, I'm going to start doing water slides soon, guys. But I get right down here on the tail. JM. Nice, easy. Put the Sharpie away, and I'll reveal this bait I did earlier today. This is the Duos Realis KO. Something I did right before I did this paint job. This has got a couple different colors in it. Color shift, a crackle mesh pattern. We got patterning in the gill plate. You've got a color shift with a scale stencil across the back, fading off into just the color shift pulling down. But we're going to BSI this one too, guys. All right, let me get all the stuff so we can get our epoxy on, and we'll be right back. All right, so for epoxy, we're going to be using our BSI 30-minute slow cure. You got your resin, you got your hardener, equal parts. This stuff is awesome. I mean, this stuff dries, basically almost dries to the touch within 3 hours. We got our plate. This is obviously a pre-used plate. I already did some lures I painted last night. That's the leftover epoxy, but I still can use this side. Oh, there's still a little bit of holographic foil down there, but we still can use this side. So I didn't show this last time. Oh, this is fresh. I do need to cut this open. All right, so I like to do equal lines. So we're going to do these two. We're probably going to do about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. All right, so there's our first line. You guys can see that right over here. Then we're going to do the hardener part. Start in the same spot. You guys see right where identical lines right next to each other. And we're going to give this a mix. Got my little popsicle stick. Going to mix this up pretty thoroughly. Again, guys, if you're having trouble with BSI, if it's getting a little thick on you, if it feels like it's hardening up, put it to some heat. Put it in front of a little space heater. Take your little blow dryer, your little heat gun. Heat it up a little bit. Don't go crazy, but you can manipulate this stuff to get it to where you want it to be. I ran into the problem where I'm getting down towards the end of a larger bait I was epoxying and just need to get that little bit more. So I usually run a space heater out here by my my airbrush setup. I just take the plate, hang it in front of the space heater a little bit, get that epoxy nice, and it gets it right back to where you could finish off that lure and you don't have to make a whole nother batch. So I just like to mix this stuff up, get it all closer together. Mix that up a little bit. Clean off my popsicle stick. That goes in the garbage. We're gonna do this today so I don't get, nah, we're not gonna do that. We'll do how we've been doing this. We're just gonna epoxy and hold the bill. Get that paintbrush nice and lathered up with some epoxy. And we're gonna start applying. I always, not always, I want to say I always start at the head and work back to the tail, but I don't always do that. I just make sure I'm getting nice, even coats on this. When it comes to being around the eye sockets and stuff, I do like to put a generous amount on there. Make sure you're getting up into all these little details, right behind that gill plate, right up in that crack in there. Right around the eye. Not going to worry about doing up on the nose yet because I am holding it with my finger. We're going to start pulling that back so you don't want to flood the eye too much. Again, you want the nice even coat. Don't get this all chunky. I mean, it'll move. You can manipulate to get it to... I can get it underneath the belly. Make sure we get up in here between all our little hook points. And if I'm calling stuff the wrong name, guys, it's because I'm recording a video. And I'm probably going to get nervous and call stuff different things all the time. People are going to be like, what the heck is he talking about? You can correct me down in the comments. It's fine. Make sure we get right up underneath that bill. We're going to rotate her. Oop, I got a little hair in there. If you guys see that. Boom, look at that. Got it out of there. It's good to have a nice little pair of tweezers on handy too if you guys have them. Luckily that was taken off enough I didn't have to grab the tweezers out. Make sure we get that nice generous amount right up inside there behind the gill plate and all the details inside the head. And get right around that little nose. Start pulling it back towards the tail. Now, while you're epoxying this, you could tell areas where you have a little more built up. You could feel it in the brush strokes. You could feel when it's dry, and you could feel where not saying there's too much epoxy, but there's more epoxy. So what I like to do is I just like to run my coats back and forth. And what's nice about using these plates, I'll take the edge of the paintbrush and run it right on the edge of that plate and remove some excess epoxy. Now, if you wanted to take it and bring it over to this side, you could. But I didn't need to. So we're going to run this side. Make sure we got our little tail section done back here. Then I'm going to get right around this nose. Now, because I figure I'm going to get all this epoxy all over my fingernails, which if I was using my helping hands or my forceps, this probably wouldn't happen. Oh, bam. There's your... Oh, see? I could see a little bit. That's what's nice about having these lights here. A little bit right in here I need. Apply another little bit. And just start pulling it around. Oh, my head just hit the phone. Now you can kind of see... I don't know if you guys can see what I'm seeing, but in the light here, I can see a little spot I want to take care of. So it's nice about doing this in the spray booth with your lights. you could see the, I don't want to say defects, but you could see the issues with the clear coat. If you see it, you can see a speck, you can see little dirt spots sometimes. But check that out, guys. Look at that thing shine. That's going to be a killer right there. All right, let's get this up on the helping hand, and we're going to get the Realis cleared up. All right, let's get the Realis done. No matter how hard I try, guys, I always get epoxy on myself. So, for some reason, I don't like to wear gloves. But again, starting at the head, we're working backwards towards the tail. I'm going to get that nice generous coat right up in this eye area and all the details behind the gills. Get that nice little dollop in there. If you guys ever hear me making up words, I do that a lot. You guys will probably hear something and be like, what the is he talking about? It happens. You know, try to make stuff interesting. Have you guys on your toes, wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Right up in that nose section. Make sure we clean out the bulk around some spots. And that right there, my friends, that's beaut. It's like a little ghost shiner almost. Oh, see? Look, see that? I'm seeing that in the light. Boom. Little spot I gotta hit. Nothing's worse than epoxy in it, letting it sit, and then when you get here the next day to look at it and you see a dry spot, you're like, oh man. But remember, you could always scuff this back up and apply another coat. Maybe I'll do a video, like a deep dive on, maybe not a deep dive, but the epoxy process. Maybe do a second coat video to where we're going to scuff the bait up and get it ready for that second coat of epoxy. We'll see. If you guys have video suggestions, maybe a certain paint job or a colorway you want me to see, or you want me to paint, you want to recommend me painting a certain fish, go right ahead. Drop down in the comments. Put it down there. I'd like to see what you guys want me to do. Keep this fun and interactive. And hope it gets you guys to want to start painting too. You can see the scale right when it flops up there. May call this one like frostbite. This one is sweet. I don't know. Drop down in the comments, guys. What should we name this colorway? What should we name this pattern? we'll obviously get some better pictures of it. Oh, man, that's a beaut. All right, guys, we're going to clean up, get these bad boys on a turner, and then we're going to go over what we used today. All right, guys, well, that is a wrap on this painting video. We're going to recap what we used from start to finish. So we started off with the 110 sinking blank from Pretty Lures. I want to give a shout out to them as well. prettylures.com. You can go on there, use my discount code JMJigs10 for 10% off your purchase. You spend $100 or more, you get free shipping. So get over there, guys. Go down there. They have a little help box that comes up if you guys need help finding stuff. You can ask them. They'll help you find whatever you need. They'll direct you to the right area where it is. Again, guys, they don't have blank. They don't just have blanks. They have airbrushes. They have all your paints, cleaners. They have helping hands. They have chenille. They have marabou. They have everything to tie your own crappie jigs. What else do they got? They got stencils. The list goes on, to be honest. And from what I'm hearing from both of them, from Dave and Rosalie, they're going to keep growing. And I don't doubt that they're not. They've started this from a couple blanks to what they have now. And it's been amazing to watch their journey to getting to where they are. And they've been there since I started, and I've always talked to Dave. Dave's a great guy. Got to meet Rosalie through it all, and it's been amazing. So again, my blanks from Pretty Lures. We started off with white base coat. Again, guys, I put all my white into the small little 2 ounce. I think there's the little 2 ounce containers there, so I'm not handling around the big container. We went over to white. We went over with a little pearlized white. And again, before I even put the base coat on, guys, I prep my lures. My prepping is I sand the lure down with a red scuff pad a little bit, scuff it up. After the scuff pad, make sure I get all the dust off it, and then I wipe it down with alcohol. Again, guys, you don't want any of the grease on your fingers, any of the mold release from the factory on there before you put your paint on it, because it is not fun seeing a reaction as you're painting. It is not something to be happy about once you see the reaction happen. But so that's my prep. Like, again, we started with white. We went to white pearl. We went right to the pearl copper from Createx. After that, we wrapped our lure in this little scale material. Again, guys, this is from a sponge from the dollar store. I cut it off the edge of a sponge. That's why it's in that circle. But it makes a perfect, I think, a perfect scale pattern. So we got that. We went over that with our black to get our black across the back, faded down the sides a little bit to get a little bit of that detail. After that was done, we signed our bait. We put our eyes on it. Then we coated her in some BSI 30-minute 2-part epoxy. So if you guys got questions, if you guys got anything, drop it down into the comments below. I check the comments. I read the comments. I'll reply to them. If you guys got suggestions for a different paint job, color schemes, you guys want to see me do a certain color, maybe we'll just pick a day where I let you guys pick 4 colors and I paint a bait with those 4 colors you guys pick. Drop it down in the comment below, guys. Drop it down there. And again, please, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what you guys want to see. Until the next time, we're going to throw some beauty shots up here after this. You guys are going to see that bait we painted. All nice, finished, and clear coated. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. All right, guys, there she is. Check that shine out. That pattern across the back with the fade down the sides that little bit. Got your kill dot. A little bit of detail in the gill plate right there. Again, guys, this is a great beginner pattern to do. 4 colors right here, that's it. 4 colors. Then you got the white pearl belly. You can see her shine down there. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Get in the booth and try one out your guys' selves.